I think many members around the table of the IMF, there are 187 countries, they would like to see that situation resolved, that uncertainty waived, and clarity. I think that's what I hear most. They're also very keen that this matter be resolved in an even-handed fashion, and they really do not see the reason why there would be a special case or a special treat, because it has been the case in other places around the world, whether you look at Ireland and Portugal in the Eurozone, or whether you look at other countries on other continents. These situations happen. Countries have to take hard measures. The situation has to be made stable, sustainable, and they have gone through it, so they would hope very much that this can be resolved as well.
On this question of the other countries, the Spains, the Portugals, the Irelands, here in Athens, you have been here, you've spoken to them, they say too much austerity. The IMF itself has agreed that the first and earlier programmes were too austerity-led. With that in mind, can you see a way forward? Can you see a possibility for talks to resume that allow growth to come back to Greece after the weekend referendum?
I would certainly hope so. And in the latest proposals that was put to the authorities, the fiscal targets had been lowered. The period of time during which the country could adjust had been extended, and this is something that can be discussed. For us, from an IMF point of view, everything has to be balanced. There are structural reforms, fiscal adjustment to make sure that the country is on a sustainable path on the one hand, and that is really the task of Greece, which has done a lot already on that front, but needs to do more, particularly in structural reforms. But on the other hand, there has to be financing, there has to be a debt operation in order to make sure that it is on a sustainable path. So it has to be balanced. In the same way, Richard, it has to be balanced from a social point of view. When we are saying that taxes have to be paid, yes, they have to be paid particularly by those who are the wealthiest. And at the other end, clearly there has to be a social safety net gradually put in place as the untargeted other protection regimes are becoming more targeted. Right. So everything has, it has to be balanced.
When you use that phrase, adults in the room, a phrase that will come back, no doubt, to haunt you many times. When you use that phrase, and adults, you were hoping for adults in the room, do you believe there is the events of the last 48 hours show that there aren't adults in the room still negotiating?
Given the level of uncertainty, confusions, and constant movement, I think a bit more adulthood would still be needed. Yeah.
A final question, Managing Director, so I can be absolutely clear of your message tonight. Your message tonight to the Greek people is what? The IMF is still there, the IMF will still help, but you want your money back. Is that your message?
The rules of the IMF is that when a member does not reimburse its due to the international community, then it cannot be financed. So we have a program which continues until March, but we cannot finance anymore until the international community, that is the IMF, is paid its due.